I have this 3D design. I did this on a 3D printer. How do I get this injection molded? What's the process now?
Well, if you want to take this part and have it injection molded, and you started with a printed part, you obviously have some type of preliminary design.
Yeah, I have some Fusion software.
Or solid model. We can take most industrial design software and convert it to SolidWorks that we use.
Okay.
So if you have this printed part, we can assist from here. The first thing we would do is review the part and confirm that it is a moldable design and that we can mass produce it with our process. This quick look does appear to be a moldable design as is. We may may request some design changes and ask questions like, what are your volumes?
Okay.
The reason why I ask that is this has some holes on the side of the part. If you're looking for maybe only a few thousand parts, they may be, you may want to use a secondary operation such as drilling.
Okay.
If you're making millions of these parts, you would want an action, the tool to create that, but that adds cost.
Okay.
So,
should I have come earlier? I mean, would you have wanted to see me when I just had the drawings?
Yeah, we may have been able to save some time and some money because we would start with a moldable design, and then we would create the model in our software and design it as a package. In that we do in-house design, mold making, as well as molding. So the earlier we get involved, the better. But this gives us a good visual.
So what are the different jobs, like different roles at your shop that I would end up working with?
Yeah. When you meet with us, we have all of the personnel needed to create a finished molded part. We have design, mold design, 3D printing, mold making, as well as molding. So when you meet with us in our conference room here, it would range between a sales meeting and an engineering meeting that would have everybody involved in the process.
Okay. So what are sort of the parameters of cost here? How do I think about ultimate cost?
Molds can range in price depending on complexity. So I tell people, it's kind of a vague answer, but molds range in cost from what a used car would cost to what a new house would cost, and everywhere in between.
Okay.
We have built small, low volume prototype molds for a few $1,000s. We've built production tools, $150,000 and up, and everywhere in between.
Okay. How long does that process take?
Typically, from concept to completion is 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
And it can be extended depending on the industry that the part is used on. Medical and FDA parts can take up to a year and beyond.
So when I'm working with you, do I need to be here? How often am I going to be here with you?
Yeah, we welcome our customers to visit at any time, but typically when we leave a meeting, we may have some questions for each other that can be followed up with emails or a phone call. Once a month is plenty.
Oh, okay. So gave me some ballpark on the molds. What's the ballpark on the per unit price?
Okay, this part right here, a quick view. Do you have an idea on volume? How many of these things are you looking for?
Probably 5,000 a month.
Okay, 5,000 a month. We would price it up both as a 1 cavity or 2 cavity mold. So I'm going to say your tooling is going to range from $20,000 to $30,000.
Okay.
And do you have any idea on materials that you like?
So probably an ABS-like plastic.
Okay. And this is a 3D printed ABS, so
Yep.
an injection molding grade ABS. It's not a very heavy part.
Right.
You do have some walls here that we want to keep straight.
Okay.
This part on a 1 to 2 cavity mold is going to range $1 to $3
per part. Okay, that's so maybe actually when you say 1 cavity versus 2 cavity, what do you mean by that?
1 cavity mold produces 1 part per cycle.
Okay.
A 2 cavity mold produces 2 parts per cycle.
Okay. Okay.
The 2 cavity molds are obviously more money because they make twice as many parts, but the piece price is cheaper because it typically runs in the same cycle time. A 1 cavity mold runs in about the same cycle time as a 2 cavity mold.
So working with you, mold is made, you're producing some units. I need more. I call you and say I need another 5,000. Do we plan that out for the year? Do I call you and a few weeks later you do them? Like, how does that whole
Yeah.
thing work?
Well, that varies because some materials are readily available. The ABS that you suggest is most ABS materials are commodity, off the shelf grade material. We can have that delivered in a few days.
Okay.
So we would ask for this part right here for a 2 to 4 week lead time.
Oh, awesome.
If it was a medical grade material that was specialty compounded, that can take weeks or months for the material to arrive. So our typical lead time is 2 to 4 weeks. It can be extended out to a few months based on the supply chain of the raw materials.
Cool. All right. That was really useful information. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.